Well, the other thing that happened, I think I have. Let me see if I have a link for the one I wanted to show you.
Hmm.
Was tomorrow though? It's birthday day. Somebody celebrates a birthday. I think we should pay special homage.
22nd of April, is that right? Tomorrow?
22nd of April. You're ahead of me, so that's probably like moments away or something, right? Because you're yeah. Uh, Jack turns 85. Our Joker
Wow.
from Batman '89. Man, I saw that and I was like, I gotta coordinate because basically the Batman came out on HBO Max on our Monday, and now Jack's having a birthday on our Friday. So I'm like,
Friday.
okay, this seems like a great week to do a Batman stream. And Nicholson, when I rewatched Batman '89, I really wanted to focus on his performance because of this birthday and why I was bringing him up. That freaking performance is so good because there's so many balancing acts that he's doing between serious mobster, uh, mentally ill, psychotic, and sort of like comic relief clown. And this little triangle of his
Hmm.
performance, and you see this little balance that's always happening, and nothing ever gets too far. All three of them are constantly moving in like this perfect moderation. Because it's a comic book movie, and we talk about so much other Batman stuff, I don't think we could ever say enough about how good a performance this is. It's almost like it's an underrated performance. It's hard to say that in some ways, but it's when you go back and watch it, and you kind of look at it from that angle where you see this balancing act that he's doing, because you could easily be delivering this, too comedically or too
Hmm.
dramatically or whatever, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant performance. So happy birthday to Jack.
Yeah, happy birthday. Wow. I've appreciated it more as I've got older, Pops. As you say, I watched it recently. I watched it just after Christmas, Batman '89, and it is brilliant. It is genius. I thought he kind of course, he overshadows Keaton, doesn't he? He takes over the movie, Nicholson, but it's more layered than you realise. For example, much more layered than Jim Carrey as the Riddler in
Hmm.
Batman Forever.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
yeah. So staying on Nicholson, I know it's kind of a complete wide open, but
Mm.
let's talk about this guy's legacy of roles. I mean, obviously, no one's going to uh, wish him. Hopefully, he will have many, many more years. But the amount of films and his performances, I don't think it's just about quantity of films. And you talk about everything from the Little Shop of Horror type stuff he did way back at 1960 and stuff like that. But you start looking at these films and you start realizing this maniacal, sort of suave guy. Some of these performances, man, like obviously the One Floor of the Cuckoo's Nest is one that always comes to my mind. But then you get into like Chinatown and some of the mafia
Mm.
stuff that he kind of
Mm.
he dabbles with. A Few Good Men, Hoffa. What a great craftsman. Like he just
Mm.
really has a special um, aura about him that you can't put your finger on, because I think, we were growing up during this. I think it was around the time of Batman, wasn't it? Where someone did something in traffic and he's on top of their car with a crowbar in his hand or a golf club. It was a golf club in his hand or whatever. There's some sort of crazy Jack Nicholson story that happened. But you
Can't
don't,
remember.
there's not a lot of these stories, but there was that one. And I'm like, um, yeah, it's 85th, 85. Nicholson. Uh, all I could say is, as us Batman fans, Jack, you made our life so special. What a great portrayal, man! I tell you what, yeah, yeah. Because at the time, right, we talked about this before we started. Batman '89 was announced, and they cast Mr. Mom as Batman and Jack Nicholson as Joker, and none of us knew exactly what to think or expect. We're like, the Pee
Mm.
Wee Herman guy is going to direct Mr. Mom as Batman with Jack Nicholson as Joker, and I think we're all like, I have no idea what to expect, and it just blew our minds. Blew our minds.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's some very good documentaries about that, aren't there?
Mhm.
That go, that talk about how it was made, the making of it, and then the huge effect it had, the huge like the box office it took, of course.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. I mean, there's so many films, just too many to name. He was in Easy Rider, wasn't he? He was good in
Yeah.
that. He was, of course, The Shining's another one that everyone talks
Oh
about.
yeah, yeah.
Shining is just
Yes.
crazy Jack. Different
Yeah.
kinds of Jacks.
Yeah, Crazy Jack in Shining and Crazy Jack in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That sort of comedic alpha. Yeah, that was just that is probably far. If I have to kind of as a critic put on like the grade your performance thing, that's the one that to me is just unbelievable. Is that one? Older Jack, playing some of the mafia-esque type roles like The
Mm,
Departed. I really like The
mm.
Departed where he's playing Frank Costello.
He's great in that, yeah.
Hoffa obviously transforms into Hoffa. That was fine. Obviously, the few good men. He's going to go down in history with these great lines. You can't handle the truth. Those kinds of things. And then,
Sounds like today. It sounds like
yeah,
Twitter.
for that, yeah. So yeah, I love anniversaries and these little moments to pause and remember and whatever. So I always want to use my channel and along that lines too, where I can kind of take note and make a little clip that we can, say happy birthday to Jack and because it's just, I hate to say it this way, it'll be over some point. We're all gonna move on, and that's it. That's your legacy, and his has just been broad and wide, touched so many of us. So.
Yeah.